Let's see who joins me. So I'm thrilled to be here. I'm going to learn as we go, right? This is, we're going to have some fun, I should say. Let's have some fun. This is more like a 101 class, right? Palm reading class. It's for beginners because I'm a beginner. So yeah, this is let's learn how to palm read with me. So in this session, we're going to go over the origins of palm reading. We will discuss the left and right hand dominance. Okay. We'll review the major lines on the hand and what those lines represent. And then we'll recap and we'll talk about what we want to go over in the next class. So yeah, let's get into it. Palm reading is something that's been around forever. So let's first establish. Hey, Rochelle! Hi, Rochelle. Hey, Anthea. Good to see you both. I'm so thrilled you're here. Good morning. Okay, so palm reading, or it's also called palmistry, is by definition, according to this is dictionary.com, the art of practice or telling fortunes and interpreting character from the lines and configuration on the palm of a person's hand, right? So you can look at someone's hand and we'll get into all of the different the lines on the hand. We're going to go over 3 lines today. So the origins of palm reading, I did some research on that, and this is what I came up with. Palm reading has been around for thousands of years. I don't even know how long. There's no way to determine how long palm reading has been around, but it's been around a long time, longer than you and I have been on this planet. So from my research and what I believe, it originated in India. Okay, so it originated in India, but other cultures such as Egypt, Asia, and Greece, they practiced palm reading very early on. So a lot of other places were not connected to palm reading, but those areas were more connected to it. But like I say, it's impossible to know where and when palm reading came about. We're just not going to be able to establish that. But I would say the most important thing is that we have this amazing practice that's literally in the palm of our hand, right? So the next time you go out with somebody, you can look at their hand. If you can get a quick look at their hand, and you can determine certain things just at a glance. You can look at your own hand and, start to understand, things about yourself. And I'm going to get into that too, like the left and right hand and what it represents. Okay, so let's get into it. So like I was saying, we have 2 hands, obviously. I mean, some people might have 3, but we have 2 hands. And it's suggested, in the research that I've done, it's suggested that you read your dominant hand. So my dominant hand is my right hand. It's that hand that you use to write with, right? It's that hand you use to open up the can of whatever, it's that dominant hand, that hand that you go to do a lot of things, especially writing with. So that's referred to as your active hand, okay? So I got a little curious about, well, what is an active hand? We know that it's the most active, right? But by definition, like, why do we even use that dominant hand to read from, to palm read? So I did some little research on that. And what I got, AI gave me this, and I feel comfortable with this definition. It says, in palm reading, the dominant hand, again, that hand that you use to write with, unless you're ambidextrous, I think that's the word where you use both. But I think you would still have a dominant hand. The dominant hand is typically used because it represents your current life, choices, and actions, right? So essentially showing how you actively manifested your potential and natural traits compared to your non-dominant hand. This is my non-dominant hand, which reflects your inherent personality and your potential at birth, right? So again, your dominant hand, and the reason why it's used is it represents your current life. I mean, if you look at your hand, I don't know, but we'll go with it, okay? All right, so let's get into the left and right hand dominance. So I'm going to read from my cards. This is my palm reading deck that I have. So let's start with the left hand. So if you're left-handed, this is what you are. This is your personality. A left-hander is more creative and favors intuitive thinking. I have a family member that is left-handed, and they're very creative. You act on gut feeling and are not afraid of failure or things going wrong because you know you will learn from, whatever it is that you just experienced. So that's the left-handed person. They're creative. They tend to be artistic. They may be musicians, dancers, things like that. The worst thing you can do is lose faith in your ability to realize your goals and objectives. All right, so that's just a little bit about the personality of a left-handed dominant. Now, the right-hand dominance is this. If you are right-handed, this indicates you prefer practical and logical reasoning. Okay, you don't go off your gut. You think things through and examine every detail before acting. You always follow the rules and never act out of turn. Well, you might not always follow the rules. Okay. Be careful, as you may be tempted to relax your morals when pursuing a personal goal. All right, so it's just like left brain, right brain. So the creatives are left, but I don't necessarily buy into that because I'm a creative person. I'm right-handed, but I guess by and large, that is, how it goes. Let's read from the book here, my little palm reading book. There's a section in here I want to read about that left hand, right hand. Let's see if we can get some more out of that. And then we'll get into more of then we'll start to talk about the three major lines on the hand. Okay. Bear with me, folks. These numbers are so small. Okay, so the book here says just some more information on left-handed. No, you know what? I'm not going to read that. That's really reiterating. Let's read which hand do you read? And we've already gone over that, but it says palmists look at the left or right hand to read different sets of characteristics. Your left hand reveals your private side and your fantasies, hopes, and dreams. Your right hand shows how you present yourself to the outside world and how you interact with it on a day-to-day basis. Regardless of which of your hands is dominant, you should concentrate on the markings and signs of your right hand for the purposes of, okay, so they're saying to concentrate on the right hand. And I get that. For some reason that makes sense. All right. But intuitively. So let's get into the different lines on the hand. So this little hand is going to be our little demonstrator. Okay. So we're going to go into the heart line. The heart line this is your heart line here, right? This is your heart line. It's that curved, that top line there. That is your heart line, okay? Well, let's talk about the heart line. So the heart line, on my card here, it says, this line gives a clear picture of your emotional and love life. It reveals emotional energy. This line runs across the palm near the base of the finger. So again, it's that line there, right? That's your heart line, okay? A deep etched line, so there's a difference. Sometimes the lines can be deeply etched in your hand, and sometimes they're very faint, right? So a deep etched line shows family and home life are important to you. You have strong ties to your family members. A faint line, again, one that's not as deeply etched as, you could go to somebody else and look at their hand and you'll probably be able to see, okay, you look at yours and you can feel and see that it's deep, or it's not, it's faint. Okay, but a faint line indicates your head rules your heart. Okay, your opinions and ideas often influence your emotions. That's your heart line. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see, what else do they want to tell us about the heart line? All right, now the curvature, everybody's heart line is not going to be shaped, or, you know, the curvature is going to be different. You may have a more pronounced curvature. You may have a, you know, medium curvature. I don't know. You'll know when you look at your hand if it's like, if you've got an extreme curvature. And I'm going to show you the imagery. Okay. So if the heart line curves at the end and fingers close to the first two fingers, it shows you find it easy to express emotions. You pick yourself up when things go wrong. Okay, so if the heart line curves at the end and finishes close to your first two fingers, all right, here. So if the heart line curves at the end and finishes close to the first two fingers, it shows you find it easy to express emotion. Okay, so let's look at this here. All right, so it's saying that it would have to finish close. Here, it's not finishing close, it's right there, right? See how it ends on the heart, on this depiction? That's where the heart line ends. The two fingers it's talking about is here, these two fingers. So in the depiction of the heart line, you see how it is showing it's close to the two fingers? All right, so that if that is what your heart line looks like, then you express emotion. You pick yourself up when things go wrong. So, you know, you're not beaten down. You keep going, basically. I like that. Okay, let's move on. Let's keep going. Now, this is another heart line shape. If the heart line runs straight across the palm and doesn't come toward and doesn't curve towards the fingers, it indicates you find it hard to express your deepest feelings and you yearn to be loved and desired. Okay, so if the heart line runs straight across the palm and doesn't curve towards the fingers, so in other words, again, this is your heart line here, it ends here. So if and these are those two fingers, right? Your index and your middle finger, if it's not going up there, and I'm going to show you on the depiction of this card. See how it's not going towards any fingers. It's just stopping right there. That's that heart line, okay? If that heart line runs straight across the palm and doesn't curve towards the fingers, it indicates you find it hard to express your deepest feelings and you yearn to be loved and desired. That's interesting. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. These are just examples of that heart line, okay? This one is ending below first finger. The ending position is important on the line, on the heart. If the heart line ends as shown, and I'm going to show you in a moment, you are idealistic and can feel let down by others. Stay positive, and don't focus on outside opinions. Do not focus on what other people are saying. So the ending position is important on this line. If the heart line ends as shown, These are what I just read are your characteristics. So this heart line, you see how that is? It's not meeting anything. All right. It's ending below the first finger. That first finger, that's your index finger. It's ending just below it. Because the other ones were showing, let's see, in between those two fingers. So this is going to be very apparent, right? If it's ending at that pointer finger, your index finger. All right. Now we're going to do another one, the heart line, ending below second finger. Okay, this is that second finger. If the heart line ends here, this can indicate you are self-focused and have little concern for others. Try to be considerate. Think about the impact of your actions on others. Okay, so you're maybe more interested in yourself. And ending below second finger. This is interesting. This is another one. See how that is? Right below that second finger, that pointer, that middle finger. That's if your heart line is shaped like that. Look at your palm and see if your heart line is shaped like that. That is your personality. And we've got one more, and this ending between the two fingers. This heart line shows you have good balance between selfishness and idealism. You are realistic and grounded, as well as thoughtful towards others. Okay, I'm looking at mine. Interesting. Oh, that's my right, my left. Okay. So this is what that looks like. Okay, it's going to curve up, and right between those two fingers, your pointer and your middle finger. All right, interesting. You have that balance. Okay, so those are the heart lines, and again, that heart line, it's that curved line there. But just from the depictions I just showed, I mean, those lines can look different. When you look at your hand, you might think everybody's hand looks like this. They don't. It looks way different. We talked about deep etching and faint. Very interesting. Let me go into my book here and see. This is my palmistry book. And let's see what... yeah, I'm just going to read some of these. The clear, deep, and long heart line, that's emotional depths, being in tune with his or her feelings. So in tune with your feelings, connected for the needs and problems of others. So you're very connected if you have that deep. And I would say, when they say deep, I just think it's prominent on your hand. You can see it versus faint. Because faint is like, it's faint. Like you can see it, but it's not as clear as an obvious line, right? You have two lines. One is you can see it very clearly. The other you can't. Straight across the palm, not curving toward the finger. We went into all of that. So it's fascinating. This is fascinating. Okay, let's move on to the next line. So we did the heart line. Now we're going to talk about the headline, okay? And the headline is here. All right, that's your headline right there. Right there, okay? That middle one there. That's your headline. So let's talk about the headline. Let's get some context on that. Okay, so this line, the headline that I just showed you, shows how you use your brain, because we're talking about the head. It should be called the brain line, right? This line shows how you use your brain and also your intellectual appetite, right? What you crave, what you want to know more of. It starts on the side of the hand and travels over the palm towards your little finger. And we just showed that, right? That's your headline there. It's the middle line, okay? Your headline is the middle line. A short headline that doesn't reach the full breadth of the poem indicates a one-track mind, closed to new ideas, and you can be very self-centered, okay? A longer headline shows your dedication to learning. You believe in equality and are strongly opinionated. Okay, so that's your headline there, that middle line. All right, so let's talk about what those different headlines look like. Okay, so straight with no curve. Okay, so this is going to be a straight headline. There's no curvature, unlike what is showing on here. There's curving there, right? If this line crosses the poem in a fairly straight line and doesn't curve towards the wrist, this shows you are logical and grounded. You should try to push your imagination. So I'm going to show you. This is what that looks like. See, it's just straight across. There's no curvature. It's just straight, right? That's a straight headline. This shows you are logical and grounded, which is a very good quality to have. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This one's curved. All right. So curves toward the wrist, and I'll show you in a moment. This headline, if this is you, if it curves towards the wrist, this headline means you are imaginative and creative. You have little attention for the mundane. You don't like the boring. And your mind is often preoccupied. Okay? So that's the headline. It curves toward the wrist. See that? How it's curving? And I'll just show you the other one to get an idea. Look at that one. Look at that one versus that one. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm sorry, folks. Put the wrong card up. Where's my other card? Oh. What did I do? That's heart. All right. No, it doesn't matter. Is this it here? Yeah, this is it. Okay. See how those look, how different those are? They're completely different. Again, nobody's hand is going to look the same. It makes you like look at the lines on the hand differently. Like, oh my God, I never paid any attention to even the lines on my own hand. Okay, now this is the writer's fork, okay? Many people have a fork at the end of the headline. Okay, I'm going to show you in a minute. You'll see this fork. All right. This indicates you are versatile, curious, and inventive. A wide fork suggests you are adaptable and resourceful. I like that. Okay, so this is that fork. See, it's like right there. See how that opens up? It's fascinating, right? That's the writer's fork. So you're curious, you're inventive. You are somebody that thinks outside the box. If you have that kind of line for your headline, I like that. Okay, the last one. There's, I'm sure, other variations, but these are the main ones that I wanted to talk about. So this is a distinct bend at the end. This is interesting. Okay, this is another headline. If the headline has a distinct bend towards the end, and I'll show you in a minute, this indicates you are materialistic. Try to focus on the meaningful and fulfilling things in your life. Okay, you like nice things. All right. Oh, you have that fork? Okay, Anthea. I'm not reading the comments right now, but I'll go in a moment. After I'm done with this one, I'll look. Okay. So this is that headline, or this is that distinct bend. See that bend there? Okay, if you have that bend, then that defines you. Very interesting. Okay, let me see if anybody, I'm in the palm reading class. My sister has, your sister has a straight line. Okay, I have that curved line. Okay, you're an artist. All right. I have that fork too. I thought it had a bad meaning. Evidently not. Okay, great comments. All right, let's move on to the lifeline. Again, we're going over the three major lines on the hand, and those are these lines here, these three lines here, okay? So now we're going to look at the lifeline. And this is your lifeline here, right? That's your lifeline. Your lifeline, okay? All right, let's talk about the lifeline. This line shows how much you enjoy life and how passionate you are. It reveals physical energy, okay, your physical energy. The lifeline doesn't reveal how long you will live for, but it indicates your regard towards life and what you want from it. It can show the degree of vitality and energy you have in life. This is often seen as the most important line, as it shows the degree of pleasure you get at each stage of your life. That's interesting. Okay, let's get into the lifeline. And we have two for the lifeline. Let's see if the book has any more. Okay, wide and sweeping. Maybe because there's just really two. Okay, so the wide, this is your lifeline if you have a wide and sweeping line. A lifeline that comes across the whole palm indicates your thirst for adventure. You relate well to children and enjoy helping those in need. Okay, so this is that. This is called the wide and sweeping. See that? That's the wide and sweeping line. Okay. What is mine? Oh, mine is wide and sweeping. Okay. All right. Oops. This is the, this one hugs the thumb, okay? If this line hugs the thumb, I'll show it in a moment, hugs the thumb, this indicates your reluctance to take the lead. You don't always stand up for yourself, but defend others. You are mental rather than physical. So you're more in the mind, you think more, all right? So there it is there. That, if your palm looks like that, that's your lifeline there, right? Then that is you. That's interesting. Let's see if the book wants to tell us any more from my palmistry book. It's interesting, right? I'm digging this, these lifelines. Oh, we have a fate and destiny line. We'll get into that later. Bear with me, folks. I'm just looking in my book. Okay. Let's circle back. Let's go back to, let's just kind of go over what we just talked about there. So we started things off with that heart line. And I'm just going to read from my palmistry book. This is a little bit of palmistry by Cassandra Isan. And this is what she says about the heart line. Begin by examining your own heart line with a magnifying glass or another method so you can tell where it begins on the hand, how it curves, where it ends, how thick and deep it is, and whether there are any significant breaks, okay? The heart line, the first to be studied in a reading, reveals information about our emotional state and relationships and anything that is dear to our heart, and the potential to grow as a person in every way. What we feel about ourselves, others, and life with spirit, and our inner feelings and the world. The heart line often begins around the Mount of Mercury. Now, when they say the Mount of Mercury, so, you know, today we're just going over the three majors: the heart, the life, and the head, the logic. But there's so much more to the palm. I don't know if I want to get into all of that because it's pretty deep. I mean, we have logic here on the thumb. We have will. So, you know, she's talking about things that I haven't really gotten into. I haven't really studied. But there's so many, it goes deeper than what I'm sharing here as far as the lines and what they represent. There's so much more, but we're doing a 101, right? And so we're going to leave that there. So we talked today about the heart line, we talked about the headline, and we talked about the lifeline. Those are the three major curves or lines on the hand. And really, if you want to learn something about someone sneakily, you just need those three. In my humble opinion, you just need those three lines to start to understand who are you dealing with? Who are you dating? Who's the person? What is their love language? Are they standoffish? Are they, what kind of person are they? Are they going to stick around? Is family important to them? Or are they narcissistic? Because they could be narcissistic. So anyway, I think that's a good start to understanding your palm. And there's a lot of information in that palm, that reveals a lot about you and a lot about the people around you. Anybody have any questions? You have straight line, Rochelle? Okay. Yeah, palm reading is very interesting. Let's see if there's anything else we want to go over before we say goodbye. Is there anything else that that you want to know? So we went over the right hand and the left hand dominance, and it looks like really the right hand is the one that you want to read, even if you don't write with that hand. Some people can write with both hands, but that right hand is the one that the dominant one that you want to read. But you go with whatever your gut tells you. The heart is the heart of the matter. The life doesn't talk about your longevity, how long you'll live, but it does give you an idea. Are you somebody that is more, relaxed? You might spend more time on the sofa versus somebody with high energy that's active. Sometimes those things can tell you about the longevity of your life. Get up and move, get up and go, right? Let's see. I think that's all we're going to cover today. I wonder if we can see wealth in palm reading. Let's see. That's a great question. And I thought when I started that we could. Let's see if it talks about wealth at all. Okay, money line. Let's go to it. Let's see what they say about money. Excellent question. Okay. Okay, the money line, the line of money, this is an upright line under the right and little fingers. Let's see if I need a depiction of this. I want to show you. This is an upright line under the ring and little finger. Deep, clear, straight. Okay, so the money line, it's saying, is an upright line under the ring and little finger. So the ring finger and the little finger. I believe it's this line here. It's right here. Okay. So look at your hand. I don't see a money line on mine. Let me get my magnifying glass and see. Wow, a magnifying glass definitely helps. Okay, I see my money line. I see my money line. You're going to need a magnifying glass because it's one of those faint lines. Okay, so here's the money line, and then we'll close out here. I see a money line, but it's curved. Okay, I'm going to go over it, Anthea. All right, so deep, clear, straight. Many good opportunities for making money, good for investments and speculation. Okay, that's your deep. If it's deep, clear, and straight. If a branch called a money line also from Apollo line joins the money line. See, this is starting to get a little involved, and I don't want to confuse anyone because they're talking about Apollo lines and all of that. And let me look into the money line a little more. Maybe in the next class, we'll talk about the money line and a few other lines on the hand. So we've gone over the major lines. I hope you've learned something from this. I'm so thrilled that you came out with me. Yeah, so next time we'll get into, let's talk about money and anything else that comes up. All right, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. Until next time, bye.